Hello YouTube, check this out. A small box. It's my Wolf River coil. My name is Captain Darren and my call sign is N4VFR. What I plan on doing, I want to do some what they call, I want to start hotels on the air. And who's going to help me today? His name is Mike. His call sign is KD2SXD. Thanks for showing up, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, Captain? How's everything?
Doing well.
Right.
So, together, he has more experience, and he just received his kilo, his 1,000 contact on Parks on the Air, here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes. It was a great accomplishment doing that with the Parks on the Air program. If you're not familiar with it, check it out on POTA.app. That's Parks, or you could go to parksontheair.com and check it out. It's great, loads of fun. You can get out the house, enjoy the weather, especially if you're in the south like we are. Up north it's probably getting a little cold, but it's a great opportunity to test your gear out in the field.
Absolutely. All right, let's get started. Man, I'm so excited. Well, the problem with activating my hotels on the air, there's going to be a problem with me taking my batteries on board the airplane. There's a limitation what TSA can allow you to bring, so I'll try to do my best and see what kind of battery I can purchase. It has to be below 160 watt hours. Alright, so let's take a look on the inside here. This is my first coil. Alright, we got the invoice. We don't need the invoice. It's really simple. That's all there is to it. Everything's all in a package. Oh, by the way, I read a lot on the forums and on other YouTube videos. Other people are recommending the Chameleon, the SS17, the Chameleon, and other people are also recommending the MFJ 1979. So I went ahead and got the MFJ 1979. In this kit, we're going to go straight to the coil. This is the mini coil. Okay, that's the mini. And we have included the whip. This is the 102-inch whip. It's collapsible. So compared to the 1979, it's about maybe another 6 inches longer. So if you're going to put this in a backpack, when you're going out to the Parks on the Air, this will end up sticking out of your backpack. But maybe perhaps you have a backpack, or you know what? You can use a tripod carrying case. That's a good idea, to use a tripod carrying case, so you can put all your antenna system and your coax and the ground wires in the tripod case. Now we have 3 legs. This is the mini version, not the extended leg, so this is about 12 inches. Alright, these are the 3 33-foot ground radials, and a lot of reviewers say that it really works. But I have Mike here, and he has experience with this, and also he's going to show me his modifications on how you can improve the Wolf River coil. The last thing I have here is the base itself. So you have a connection for the what is that, the PL259, and your antenna goes here, and the holes for the 3 legs. That's all there is to it. All you gotta do is put it together and hook up with your coax, and then tune the antenna, and then off to the races. Parks on the Air. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this base and take one of these legs, what we need to do, we need to screw that nut in about 1/4 of a way in, so that it allows us to put the ground radials installed here. In the meantime, we're going to open these up. Okay. I'm just going to leave that together for now until we get it all connected. So just like this. Then get the base. And you just want to screw it in just snug enough. Okay, I ran into some problems. All right, this is brand new. So what I did was a good can of WD-40, lightly coat the threads, and then work your way in. Once it goes in, just go back and forth a couple times. You want to loosen that thread. You want to lubricate all of the threads and the grooves, just like this. And like I said, just take it out and just wipe some of that WD-40 off. You don't want to leave too much on there, because what happens when you drop this in the beach, the sand gets into it, or the soil, and then now you're going to contaminate your connections. All 3 tripod legs are mounted to the base, and as you see, I also connected 3 ground radials. Alright, now we're going to mount the coil. It's really simple. Alright, so the coil went in the base pretty easy, unlike the legs itself. So there is no need to put any WD-40. And when you tighten these down, these nuts and the coil, it's just finger tight. I have a recommendation, and I saw this on the internet. I have a 90-degree elbow, and you can mount that to the base of the coil, and that will be there permanently. So let me do that now. You want the coax to be feeding between the legs and not like this. So I'm going to leave it like that and just continue to tighten down my connector.
Hey guys, how you doing? Mike here, KD2SXD. Just going to show you a couple of modifications I've done with my Wolf River coil when I go to activate a Parks on the Air activation to make it simpler and easier to set up and break down. Alright guys, well, I used a Silver Bullet 1000, which is a larger coil than the Mini, and I basically have the same setup with the 90-degree elbow. On my legs, instead of having the terminal, having to take it off every single time, I bought extra terminals and I bought extra nuts, and I actually permanently mounted them on each one of my legs. And I've added bullet connectors to the end of my legs, where until I have my radials. Now I have made extra sets of radials, because more radials is better, as what we was told. So I run 3 sets of 6 radials which are cut at 8 feet in length each. So that gives me 6, 12, 18 radials cut at 8 feet each on each leg. And easily, I easily put it in the bullet connector, spread them out when it's laid out on the floor, and I'm ready to go. I also run the 17-foot whip as well. The reasoning behind the 17-foot whip is it is resonant from 20 meters, fully extended. And all I have to do is, if I want to work 17 meters, 15, 12, 10, or 6, is just lower my whip down. to the approximate length. The collar, some people I've seen bypass the collar. They'll add an extra wire from here to the top to bypass the coil. You don't have to if you don't want to. All you have to do is set the coil to the very top of the coil here, where it comes out from the PVC, and you set it to the very top here. That mimics the coil being bypassed, and that's how I run 20 meters. Once I go down to 40 meters, I make sure the whip is fully extended, and I bring the collar down about 16 clicks down, which is roughly, I didn't count, but roughly around there is about 40 meters. And 80 meters is roughly about there for 80 meters. So that's how I set mine up for POTA. It's real quick and simple. I know it looks a little primitive, but I could get set up in 5 minutes or less with the way I have it set up here.
All right, now I wanted to set this up here. All right, I have the coil all the way to the top, at least to the first ring, and it's touching, so it has continuity from the base to the radiating element. So I'm going to put the whip on here. This is the stock whip that comes with the Wolf River coil, and this is very delicate, so when you raise it, start from the top, just raise it, and don't just go straight up real hard. Just be smooth about it, so you don't pull out the antenna element. Okay, just like that. That's a 102-inch whip. All right, you want to make sure that the tripod is leveled. Right now I think it was leaning a little bit, so you just reposition it. All right, now I'm going to cut the ground radials. These are the stock 33-foot ground radials, and lay them out. They don't have to be perfectly straight, so let me finish that. There's my setup, the Wolf River Coil Mini, using the stock 3 ground radials, 33 feet. They should be good if you have room for them. And let's take a look at the other setup here. Here's Mike, he's setting up his Silver Bullet 1000. All right, so again, as he mentioned, on each of those bullet connectors, he has 6 8-foot ground radials. All right. And the width that he's using there is the, what do you call that, 17-foot. That's the MFJ 1979. That's configured right now for 40 meters. All right, so that's a 17-foot.
I have to bring the collar down like about 16 clicks, and they'll be resonant at 40 meters.
Okay, he's saying that he needs to go down 16 clicks, and that's going to be resonant to 40 meters. All right, let me back up, and you can take a look at the size. All right, so this is the 17-foot whip. Just follow that all the way to the top. All right, and compared to, that's my Mini. You can't see it. Let me get a little closer. All right, so you can see a little bit of that Mini there. There you can see the whip, and it just disappears. All right, so that's how high it is, 102 inches. So you can compare the two, the 102-inch and 17 feet. All right, cool, man. It's time to make the connection. So take a look at this. That is a quick disconnect for those that want to do a rapid deployment. So this is going to be permanently mounted onto the coax. All right, I'm going to take this and just press it in. There it is. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so Darren, you run a 50-foot line of coax That's the preferred length of coax to be run with the Wolf River coil. Some people have run 25 feet, but some people have run into problems with 25-foot runs of coax. But 50-foot seems to be ideal. You don't have to have it, you know, in a straight line a whole 50 feet. As long as it's not, you know, coiled up, kinked up or anything, you should be good to go. Okay, we're going to use my test radio since I had it readily available. This is my POTA gear. I use an ICOM 7300. I usually have a little sign out front, and I use a portable battery pack, which is the Miyati 16 amp hour LiPo 4 battery. And I run about 90 watts. I've lasted hours at the park.
You recommend putting a quick connection there as well?
I do too. I have one on mine, a quick disconnect as well here.
All right, I forgot. We need to check the SWR. So what we did, we just connected the coax cable, and we have two different SWR meters. This here is a Rig Expert Zoom 35, and then we also have the Nano VNA. So we're going to test both of those. All right, so we got down the SWRs down to 1.08 at 14.470. What we had to do, we had to take the ends of the ground radials and cut it in half. So that's what we did on both, on all three of them. So the results on 20 meters, it's pretty good. All right, we got the radio hooked up to 20 meters, the ICOM 7300, and we're going to do a SWR graph test. Go ahead. SWR is pretty low. As we get up on the band, it's going down, it's below 1.3. I think that's pretty good.
That's usable. And you could, you know, if you really want to nitpick and fine tune, you could do it.
Mike went ahead and tested out the 40 meters, and check it out. It's really flat. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's showing at 1.084, and the center frequency is 7.229 megahertz. I'm going to connect it to my Zoom 35 Rig Expert, and I'm going to show you. Alright, so it's already nighttime, sun's setting, and Mike went ahead and tuned the 40 meter band, and the whip is fully extended, 102 inch, and he brought the collar down a few more clicks. So that's what it's reading. It's 1.06 at 7.22 resonant. For those that use Parks on the Air and has the VNA or the Nano VNA, we're going to take a look at that as well. Go ahead and set that up for me, Mike.
Okay.
So you can actually see. Hey, you got that quick disconnect on there. It's very handy. Look how fast that is. Dang. All right, so we're at 1.08. It's that right up there, 1.08. It's hard to see. All right, and resonant frequency is 7.229.
Actually, I'm just a little off, and I can bring it down to.
Oh, okay. He's moving the.
What is that? 7.220.
Yeah, 7.220. Okay, at 7.220, he's now. It's hard to read, but 1.06.
Same as the Rig Expert, right?
Yeah, so man, you can just buy yourself a cheap Nano VNA instead of buying this. I don't know how much I paid for this. I know it's probably more than $200. Here's a tip. I know you guys do Parks on the Air, but from Mike, when he's looking at his Nano VNA during daytime and bright sunlight, it washes out the display. So he mentioned to me that he prefers to have a Rig Expert because it's easier to read during daylight operations. To make things easier, I went to Amazon and I bought some kite winders, and it's going to make life a lot easier to wrap up the 3 ground radials. Well, I ran out of daylight. As you can see, the house light's on, and it's getting pretty dark out here in Jacksonville, Florida. We did have to go back and forth a whole lot of times just to test out the SWR. So I think what I'm planning on doing in the future is buy an additional coil to install on the Mini. Therefore, I can just set that for the 20-meter band and utilize the other coil for the 40-meter band to get in the ballpark so the SWRs will be low. So that's my recommendation, and I plan on doing that in the future. Well, anyways, thanks for Mike for visiting me here at my location at the QTH. My call sign is N4VFR, Captain Darren, and we also have Mike, KD2SXD. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my channel, please subscribe, give me a like, thumbs up, leave me a comment, and let me know what modifications have you done to your Wolf River coil. Till next time, see ya, have a great day, and stay safe.